timid, faint-hearted, inferior, inadequate. That was me. So ugly, I felt ugly. Unattractive, unappealing, repulsive, even to me. I was that one who cringed at the sound of my name. The one who flinched at the sight of my face. Preferred the company of crazy voices waging war in my head to that of sane humans. I simply existed. How could one so dead be found living among the living? Then came the day that threw in an unexpected plot twist into the mix of the sad story called my life. All by myself as usual. Doodling in the sand, even I didn't know what I drew. Then came the rude rumble and roar of an approaching crowd. Confusion had never been more confused than this. Emotions were sky high at a screeching 10/10. A section of the people looked terrified, eyes filled with dread, crying for help, like, please don't. No, don't do this. He's innocent. The other faction were jubilant, ecstatic, jumping, shouting, dancing, celebrating like they had just won a prolonged Supreme Court case. Even I couldn't help but wonder, as my curiosity got the better part of me, pulling me in like a magnet, dragging me in and into the crowd to see the one who was at the center of it all. Then I froze. Nothing prepared me for this moment. It felt like all my life I had waited for this. In that instant, his eyes locked with mine. I felt a sudden cool rush of peace and calm flowing through me from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. In the midst of the chaos, I connected with him on a very deep level that words cannot capture. I felt his love lavishly poured on me. It was sincere, pure, deep, and so rich. This moment that I would cherish for the rest of my life lasted for a fraction of a millisecond as they whisked him off to his untimely death, like ABBA boys looking for Tyre to burn a criminal. But this was no common criminal. His name was Yeshua, my salvation. He was simple but not simplistic. From a distance, he exuded confident royalty, but he didn't flaunt it. He was wealthy in a way that intimidated pounds and dollars, but he didn't show it off. An embodiment of money, no dey make noise. In spite of being beaten and spat on, you could still see through the gory mix of dust, blood, sweat, and tears that this was the fairest of 10,000s to my soul. The jubilating crowd could not come to an agreement on what exactly his offense was. In your day, it would have been like some said, that he hung out with the likes of politicians and Yahoo boys at lounges in GRA. Others said Ron's girls were seen crying at his feet and wiping their tears with their hair. One guy in particular was livid. How dare he allow a lady of easy virtue, or so it seemed, to waste an expensive perfume valued at a year's worth of salaries in this summer season, and all he could say was, leave her, she's honoring me with this. What kind of honor? Another group of men complained bitterly of how he healed one madman at Bundu Waterside and cast the legion of evil spirits into swines they were selling. The swines, their business, ran into the river and they all drowned. Even mortuary attendants complained of how he would touch the casket and dead customers coming to be buried would jump out of the coffin alive and well. The one that annoyed the pastors most was that he claimed to be not just the Son of God, but equal with God himself. Tufiakwa. Even I was heartbroken. The stories didn't add up. Without a word, he had just healed me. What could all this confusion mean? The sight of him being crucified was excruciating to watch. How could anyone in their right minds celebrate this? The question kept burning in my heart as I quietly whispered a prayer while looking up to him. Yeshua, if what your accusers are saying is true, if you could do all the miracles ahead of you, if the winds and the waves obeyed you, why don't you just send thunder to fire these people and their generations? Despite my confusion, there was an unexplainable, overwhelming peace, like a river in my heart. The next 2 days were quiet around town. There were whispers that his guys would attempt to steal his body at night. There was gist of government officials bribing people to keep his tomb secure. But guess what? Then came Sunday morning. Interestingly, strange things had been happening to me. No longer timid, I was now fearless. The old, faint-hearted me had given way to a courageous new me. The crazy voices waging war in my head had been silenced. I washed and folded my clothes, had my first thorough bath in a long time, walked up to my supervisor at the psychiatric hospital Rumibo, where I had been held for a long time, and said, "Thank you for taking care of me for so long. Now I have been set free to go and conquer my world." As I stepped out, I felt something special in the atmosphere. The town was agog with breaking news. Then every blogger started posting. Captions read, "The grave is empty. The stone has been rolled away. Jesus is risen like he said. The King of the Jews is alive. It's the event that has shamed the kingdom of darkness forever. It's the ultimate plot twist of all time. If the enemy knew, they would not have crucified the King of glory." I am a living testimony. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not fake news. This is the truth. Jesus Christ is risen. Jesus is alive.